All right, guys. Okay, welcome to our week six. Okay, our week six session for group five. Okay, the first sessions before we heading for the holiday there. Okay, 1 day holiday for Christmas Eve. So right now, there, guys. Okay, I've done basically my demonstrations there earlier. Okay, this morning on these particular styles of character. Right, I saw basically a few number kind of development from our friends which is okay. If you guys wanted to really be more productive and progressive on your developments, on your kind of experience on working basically with this particular kind of tester, okay, I would suggest you guys were using the same kind of references that you get from caricatures kind of assignments. Okay, that's basically the thing that we should do there. Okay, I already told you guys that before. Okay, we need to work smart rather than work hard at this stage, because to develop a design or to design a character is not that easy as it looks, right? So right now you have to focus in one things for sure. It's your kind of drawing and designing kind of skills. Okay, design skills there. So I've done basically this kind of character design developments there, okay? Visual development there, okay? Before we're going to turn over in the futures, maybe they're okay to work with the character kind of model turnaround, okay? So normally when we work out with this kind of particular kind of way of working there, right? So I had this kind of visual style there, okay, which is if you look carefully back again, I've done a few number kind of adjustments, okay, based on my characters there. And the techniques that I use basically is not purely very complicated, complex kind of rendering techniques, okay? I'm using two different kind of layers to apply shadows there, okay? Two different layers there, okay? Base colors and also the shadows there. And the shadow that I actually try to develop is only using one single layers there. Basically, you can use one single layers that works once you actually flatten them there, right? So you can actually refer back again to my demonstration that I made earlier, like how it works. But right now, I flattened basically these images. I just wanted to bring it over this particular kind of what we call that characters into to the background that I actually have been creating there, right? Okay, earlier there, right? Okay, like this one there, right? Okay, just now you saw basically that I've made this kind of compositions, what we call that sample of development there just now there, right? So what I can do right here, I just can basically make a selections, okay, like this there, okay, very simple selections. I'm going to copy and paste right here. Okay, of course, basically the size is a bit kind of different, a bit. Why? Because just now, basically, I make some changes on the size. So when I actually design basically this particular kind of shadows and compositions, lighting effects there, okay? Remember what I say, we want to make those composition look more harmonized there, okay? So the background itself when I use, okay, I try to make the background a bit more harmonized and a little bit more blending with the characters at the same times. But the main kind of what we call that, the main kind of what we call that elements is all about these characters here. So I'm using basically different kind of colors combinations, even though the hairstyle that I create earlier there, okay, in these morning sessions, really I create this kind of what we call that hairstyles according to the references that I made. So what basically you guys can start with right now is try to collect as much as informations before you're going to refer when you want to draw basically your characters there. And of course, okay, this design that I create were accordingly to the samples that I made there before. So if I wanted to basically to show back again the chronologies of my design over here there, okay, I will basically going to open up another files there first. Okay, right here. Then I'm going to bring it this one over here first. Okay, and another versions of these characters who came from, okay, let me see that right. Okay, where is it? The sketches there, right? Huh? Looks there first. I think right here there, right? Okay, week 5 manga style there, right? So from here there, okay, you saw basically, okay, my kind of samples that I used there before. Okay, this is one of it. Okay, we bring these guys over here as the samples, right? We put it right here, there. And then the next thing is that I do some sketches, okay? This is basically my sketches there, okay, before I turn over these characters here. You can see basically the chronologies, okay, how basically I start to develop the, okay, this design, okay, that based on this sample that I made there before. All right. Okay, week 6, manga character styles. Okay, breakdown there, right? Breakdown process. So I've done a few number kind of development, but this is not basically the first design that I create. So if you look carefully back again, okay, the design that I create earlier basically is this one. Okay, this is the one that I created before. So can I combine them together? Okay, this is the one that I create. So what I can do right here, I wanted to combine this one together first. Okay. Then I wanted to bring it to here. There. This is basically the original design that we create there, right? Okay. So how actually I transform them there, right? Okay. That's basically one of the most important thing that you have to show during basically your submissions. All right. So what I did basically right now, okay, I will try to change basically the format that is. Okay. The paper size over here. Image size, the canvas size there, right? I'm using basically 8 by 8 inches. Maybe I'm going to make it a little bit more like a 15. And I'm going to put it right here. Okay, this guy. Okay, these two dudes basically are going to be right here. And this guy is over here there, okay? The first sketch that I made. Okay, when I actually developed the characters for this manga style, right? Okay, is here there, right? So if you look carefully over here, there, okay, you can see, okay, the way that I actually construct and developing the ideas there, okay, before I change this into this particular style, okay, using basically the manga kind of what we call that mecha kind of what we call that design. But of course, the design that I create over here, still, basically, I'm improvised them. I didn't basically trace or what we call it exactly, okay, from those references. A lot of students, I saw basically a lot of students there, right? You guys were basically creating those kind of visual by tracing. All right. So remember what I said, okay? If that kind of experience doesn't benefit you. In order for you to develop your creativities, you have to change. Make sure that you guys should change that, right? Okay. So last week, basically, when I developed basically these characters over here, okay, these purple characters there, okay, I made also a few number kind of changes during the process I'm creating the other visuals that I create earlier this morning. So that means the process of developing all these kind of improvisations or okay, improvements during this visual concept kind of process can be improvised, okay, can be improved from time to times. Okay, until basically you wanted to confirm this design later on when you want to get ready for the productions of comics or any kind of animations, you have to confirm all these elements back again. And normally, okay, if you buy or if you bought basically like Gundam, kind of what we call that diagram there, okay, they will basically break down every single element right here into multiple parts. That's basically also another kind of process that normally as a character designer have to be experienced. All right. So that's why I don't want to go too deep into our exercise, okay, into our kind of exercise and assignments there. Okay. Because I want to give you guys an earlier kind of introduction how we develop a character there first. So from here, I will try again to develop into another versions of these characters, which is a chibi characters. Do you know chibi characters? Hmm? All right, chibi characters, okay, is a little bit more like a cute version of these particular kind of characters there. All right. So in a way to work on it, you have to sketch back again. So I've talked to some of the students, okay, what we call that earlier, okay, about the development there, okay. A lot of people always confuse, okay, when they come to develop these characters, okay, for manga character there, okay, if you comparing the one that you create right now with the version that you saw from those references, what are the difference there? And how we actually can define the difference between the characters itself. If you cannot see any difference there, okay, from your kind of approach on your kind of design, it has to be something that you have to do references and research back again. Okay, if you look closely, it's over here. Okay, when I design this character that based on this person itself directly, I actually try to improvise the thing, the elements from here. And of course, okay, I did a little bit kind of study back again, how actually going to develop the characters, okay, especially the eyes itself to work on that. If you want to differentiate between your kind of manga kind of studies, that based on your, from your understanding there, right, okay? If you look carefully right here there, guys, let me check basically, okay, the ink brushes over here. All right, manga, okay, the eyes that change, okay, that appears there, right, okay, has to be a little bit more different there. The shapes of the eyes, okay, manga have a multiple kind of way to approach on the eyes there. Evil kind of characters, they will start with this kind of eye, kind of what we call that positions there, okay, evil kind of characters there, right? But still are going to be looks a bit more what we call that appealing there, okay? Most of those manga, okay, villain characters, okay, the main villains, okay, they has basically some appealing kind of looks. That mean the creators want to create the villains also been likely likable enough, okay, for the audience there. Check back again the eyes there, okay? Some of the eyes are going to be look like this, a bit more like a kawaii kind of style there, right? Okay, big eyes, round eyes there, it works. Okay, so you must be able to see the difference there. Okay, we have one, two, and three. Okay, four different kind of what we call that structures that define the manga kind of eyes there. Maybe sometimes the pupil a bit more bigger there, right? Okay, this is basically my indications. Okay, my kind of indications there. I'm not just try to trace the whole things, but I try to make my own formulas on working with manga kind of what we call that eyes there. Nose basically, okay, this one basically I'm using what we call that a common kind of nose to design for the human nose there, okay? But normally from here, I can actually draw something like this, okay? Or maybe like this, the nose itself there, right? Okay? Or maybe something like this there, right? So you have to study basically all these kind of features there when you want to develop into your manga character styles. Otherwise, there's no point basically we're going to work with these assignments there. 40% of your marks, I'm not going to evaluate. We are not going to evaluate that based on your final works only. Okay, remember that. If you submit your final works only, those who didn't came basically for my lecture class, please take notes on it. All right. The mark will be given only half of those 40% of total marks. It's supposed to be like that. Okay, the tutors basically who refer this kind of videos also the same thing there. Okay, you have to refer them back again. Okay, those who actually doesn't submit the process of workings, half of those total marks are going to be cut off there, right? Okay, so everyone clear about it, right? So that means, okay, if 40% of the total marks, maybe you deserve to get 15, maybe you can get 18. If you're lucky enough, you can get 19 or full marks, okay, depend on your skills. Okay, so make sure you actually, okay, put a little bit more attentions, okay, on those kind of developments there. All right, those who actually can draw, for me, I don't think that you guys have enough kind of issues, okay, to break down basically your structures and your ideas, your process of working there. Because why? Okay, if you look back again, if I actually give you guys a very easy task, everyone draw manga in any in your styles there, okay? Those possibilities that student will trace from other people characters, the percentage is very high. So I actually doesn't want it just to learn how to trace. That value of learning experience is very cheap. Okay, so that's why we need basically to use our creative kind of process and critical kind of process of working with your design in order for you to develop your skill from here. But I just ask you guys just to draw one particular positions. Okay, try not to draw some complicated kind of positions there first. If you have trouble to develop an anatomical kind of what we call that pose or actions there. But unless you really, really want to explore other kind of what we call that pose and position in action pose, you have to come up with your breakdown structure there first. Okay, use a gestures line kind of drawing structures there to emphasize on that kind of development there, right? I'm using very simple kind of structure because I know some of you guys need a bit more attention on working with your kind of design skill there first. Okay, so what we did right now is basically came from the design skills. Okay, design skills that works. All right, okay, what else that we can do from here? Okay, I'm going to start to work with those Chibi character there right now. So what I'm going to do next over here, once I get this design confirmed enough there, okay, what I can do. Okay, another way around there, okay, I can actually sketch this one. Okay. Okay, this one I can save that first. Okay. This one I can save that first, or maybe I can actually write use. Without right, okay. I always caught with this method of working. I want to try a few things over here. Okay. What if, let's see, is it okay? Is it nice? When we change the colors here, right? Maybe some other time that we can actually playing around with it. Okay. maybe some other time that we can play around with it. Okay, I love to play with those effects there, right? Okay, another options for me to work on my kind of presentations. Okay, yeah, play a little bit like that. See, you see the difference there. So okay, done. Okay, we have a few sketch, okay, that we made before. Okay, this is basically the process that we did. So I'm going to save the file first and copy these elements and put it right here. Another files. Okay, can you see okay, how many files that I have here? There, okay, to works on it. Okay, this one I'm going to close that first. All right, this one there, okay. Control D. If I want to made it basically this one as a part of my samples that I can share with you guys there, okay. I'm going to export this one into quick export as JPEG files. Okay. Then what I'm supposed to do first, I'm going to submit that, right? Okay. Right here. So you guys can see basically, okay, how actually I break down basically the shapes of it. So I'm going to add another files first before I'm going to draw those chibi characters there, right? There. So you guys can see basically, okay, those development that I create. I can basically make some edit. Make it basically this one as a part of your set display. Save there. Okay. Next thing is right now, I'm going to make the same kind of what we call that. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay. There. This one basically for diploma student there, okay? So they actually also can see and look into the development there, right? Okay, that I create from here. Yeah. All right, guys. Okay, we go through back again. This one I can save the file that fits. Okay, right now I'm going to draw a chibi characters. How to define a chibi characters? First of all, the best way, do your research back again. All right. So chibi character design. Oh shit, that right. So chibi came from the baby characters there, right? Okay, baby character type styles there. So there's a 3 or multiple kind of styles of chibi that you can use, because normally chibi characters is a bit more like very simplified, super deformed kind of shapes, okay, of structures there, okay, of the character itself, okay, in cyborg style there, right? Okay. Okay, find some of the sample from here. Even though I can actually draw and draw back again according to the reference based on my kind of what we call it understanding there, right? But I wanted to give also some sort of like information for you guys to study that first, okay? So for me, I'm going to just print screen. Maybe I'm going to paste right here as a part of my references, all right? My mood board references there, okay, Catherine? So using references, all right, to works. All right, but this is only a guideline for me because I already have basically my references over here. So what I can do next, okay, start with sketches there. Okay, week 6, manga chibi styles. Any questions so far there, guys? Okay, any questions? No? Everyone busy working with their own works there. All right. Darren? Hmm? You're still basically working in that kind of what we call that positions, huh? Comfortable, sure. Huh? Don't get a stiff neck later on, okay? We have Darren over here, Darren, okay? I'm talking to him there. All right. So I'm going to add another session, another layers back again, save the files there first. Okay, now it's a process of sketching there, right? Okay. Another way around, basically, you guys can also sketch, refer to those references. I try not to do that first. Okay, I want to show you guys basically how it works here. Okay, using basically other colors there just to give a bit more ease on our kind of what we call that, a different kind of mood and feel from here. So sketches on these characters, okay? Okay, Chibi characters came from two head scales. Okay, two head scale there, guys, okay? Not very, not a very, what we call that, proper kind of scales, but it's good enough there for us to refer there, okay? The line, the alignment line, okay, based on these particular positions. So what I did right now, I'm going to start to design a chibi character that based on this particular kind of characters there. So what I did right now, okay, the character has to be the head a bit more bigger. Normally, if you refer to the chibi, okay, the design a bit more simplified. Okay, this is basically the alignments, okay, of those positions. This is basically the center point there, okay, of those characters there. Okay, so the characters are doing basically his position over here. So I'm going to try to get enough kind of informations about these characters from here. Okay, the head, not the hair, okay, guys. The head is a bit more bigger, and I'm going to do some extra positions of the hair, okay, later on top of it. So right now, what I can do here, there, okay, of course, with you the chibi characters, the neck has a little bit more smaller, and I cut the body into half. Okay, so from here, how actually going to design them there, okay? What I can do, I sketch them back again. This basically, okay, basically the design that based on, okay, the upper body there, right? There. These are going to be the shoulders, okay? What we call that shoulder pad there, right? The arms itself is over here. And the position of those basically, okay, hands are supposed to be right here. Okay, these are going to be the fingers there, right? Okay, a bit more cute there, okay, kind of what we call it size. Yeah, right here basically the shoulders, another shoulder vision, the shoulders kind of pad. Okay, the arms. Okay, check the alignment itself. Try to basically to design those hands. Okay, with the same alignment there, right? Okay, if the hands a bit more longer there, okay, I will try to improvise later on there. So we have to redesign them. Okay, this is the process of design there, right? Okay, so there is particular kind of what we call that part of those legs. Okay, are going to be more smaller a bit, but this times I'm going to, okay, the knee there, okay, positions. Okay, and lastly basically the shoes there, okay, I'm going to redesign a bit more bigger like this one there, right there. using basically the basic structure shapes there, right? So roughly, I get the design of the body that balance enough with the characters here. Okay, how about the faces there, right? So normally chibi characters, the nose are going to be look like this. These are going to be the mouth there. Okay, the positions of the mouth there, right? Okay. So the eyes a bit more bigger there. Okay, the position between two different eyes are going to be a bit more, what we call that distance there. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now basically the hairstyles, and of course basically the glasses. Okay, there will be the goggles there. Okay, the hairstyles simplified a little bit. Now basically the hair. Okay, normally in GB character, okay, the hair a bit more bigger there. Okay, the hair a bit more bigger there. Okay, like a baby kind of characters there. Right? So what I do next, okay, I'll try to refer to the hairstyle back again. Yeah, that's basically the chibi versions of it. Okay, roughly that can be work. So if you can actually write design or draw basically a bit more details, it'll be more better, okay, for your references. Okay, try to capture a bit more details on your own design. Because remember that, guys, okay, everything that we did is by design there. When people want to refer you back again, how actually I'm going to design these characters there, okay? Because if you look back again, you must be able to design something that can be replicate there, okay? When it comes to develop your characters there, can be replicate there. Okay, what else there? But not here. Or basically this part there, right? If someone say basically I cannot actually draw this because this is quite small there, okay, it can be done. Okay, everything is can be done because we made them. Remember that, okay? We made basically them there, okay? We the one who actually made all this stuff there, so everything can be created. Yeah, so some of the things we can actually improvise and change. Okay, that's how it goes there, and that's how we rule there. Okay, those kind of way of working with this particular kind of style. Okay, that's why sketch is really important here to work. Yeah, I always emphasize on sketches there again. This is basically the methods there. Okay, this is basically the challenge there. Okay, the test ground, whether you actually can sketch properly or not. Okay, from here there. Okay, sketch as detailed as you can. Okay, when it comes to develop your characters there, I will make the character a bit more bigger there. Okay, because this is a chibi character styles there. Okay. As a references right now, if you compare to those the actual kind of designs over here, yeah, they're supposed to be look almost the same. Sometimes we actually can add a bit more values, okay, on these sketches back again, okay, to works. What we call that according basically to the main kind of element that you saw basically some Gundam, okay, what we call that the other version I can't remember the name there, okay, but what we call that, okay, the super deformed kind of Gundam style, okay, they actually try to get as close as it can, okay, when it comes to develop those design, okay. The what we call that the high grade versions basically, okay, and the super deformed version is almost the same there. So that's what I say, okay, everything that we done is by create by own creations there. So you need basically to use your design skills there, okay, to work on it and your eyes of observations there. So that's why when you actually design some things, think that first. And for me, the best way for you guys to explore your ideations on working with this particular kind of what we call that taster, okay, by using the same references that we have. Don't basically burden yourself to, when you actually try to design other kind of references or elements, even though you can challenge yourself there, guys, but in a way to develop your skills, you basically try to create another problems game. New references, new problems. All right. So I don't want to create another problem because of the time that we have. So the best way for me to execute by using an actual kind of a sample that I have made before. Okay. I just have to collaborate with it, okay, to work on it. All right. This is basically my sketches there. What we can do next, I'm going to clean up the line. Okay. So once I clean up the line, of course, I'm still basically sketch first. Okay, we sketch first. I will spend my time to sketch rather than just draw there, right? So I try to get as close as I can first using these sketches. And please do enjoy sketch process. Most people nowadays, okay, they're not enjoying the sketch anymore, okay? And the whole kind of what we call the system of working with your idea developments. That's why sometimes, okay, we saw, if you watch basically, okay, some of the students from the senior students there, okay, I see how I actually draw those those nose there, okay, who actually designed your final year project there, right? They don't have enough sketches and the design doesn't have any soul anymore. Okay, the design doesn't have any soul anymore there, right? So that means you don't have enough kind of development. You can see basically some of the flaws of those design. So this is basically the patterns of it. I will try to spend more time sketching them up, add some of the details as I reach. Okay, the eyebrows itself. Remember how actually I designed the eyebrow just now, right? I will try to maintain them, because if you change, sometimes if you change too much, okay, on those what we call that, the features of the characters, they become someone else. Take a look at the Genshi Impact there, okay, or some of the character that you saw, like One Piece, and some of those Naruto's there, okay. Even though they actually change into this chibi character style, but the main features of those characters still have been what we call that maintained there. They still maintain those element from there. That's why we have to be careful when you design them. Okay, job as a character designer is not as easy as it looks, there, guys. I have this kind of what we call that phrase of understanding there, right? Okay, that I use a lot. Normally, when the newcomers, okay, or what we call that, people basically from those newcomers there, okay, they're newbies. Okay, when you draw one singular illustration, you can become champion there, right? Okay, you can say you're champion there. But if you actually want to test basically your kind of skills, try to design multiple kind of multiple kind of what we call that characters, positions that based on the same characters. That's where basically you will test it, okay, you will skill that back again. Like this one there, okay, I had also some hard times over here, okay, when it comes to develop basically the some of the details there. So that's why I spend more time on sketching that first, in order for me to look into some of those things that I find that I actually can improvise basically the some of the element and structures of it. And of course, okay, as I mentioned to you guys before, we made them so we actually can improvise them. Okay, that's basically the reason why we develop those sketches there. So from here, there, right, okay, what I can do next, okay, the next a bit more shortened there, right? So I have to refer to a lot there, right? Okay, it's quite difficult there. Try to sketch a little bit fastest at the same times. Yeah. All right. Is there any kind of other parts elements that we can refer to? All right. This one, the right. You look back again. Simplify them, minimize them. Okay, these areas over here. Just now when I create them. Yeah. So when you design this character, I actually do some changes a bit on the leg and on the leg, even though we can actually maintain the okay. I'm not saying that we cannot maintain the okay, but I try to improvise a little bit from here. Okay. If I want to maintain, I can maintain the okay, but I just make some my decisions to change a bit there. This is the design process. A lot of people always doesn't actually realize that, okay, when you want to work with something there, okay, according to your needs, okay, when you design characters there, this is basically your real design test there, right? Okay, design kind of skill that we developed there, not by using the computers there to works. Using basically the apps only there, okay, to works there. Even though I'm using AI a lot, okay, nowadays, if you have that kind of understanding right here to develop okay, from scratch, AI will help you to enhance more further on your kind of way of working with your designs in the future. Is that right? That's the beauty of understanding how to creating from scratch. So some of the elements I can actually improvise a little bit, and make sure when you draw chibi characters, they hand not too long until they become a orangutan, right? Huh? Until they become a monkey, right? Huh? You don't want to make those characters look like that. So generally, when you actually works on this, okay, the design itself, okay, roughly, basically, you get these characters over here. Okay. Oh, I forgot something there, right? Okay, the antennas there, okay. Sorry. Okay. So I had to basically design these elements there. Okay. As a designer, sometimes there, okay, when you actually design something a bit more complicated, but you have to create all these elements, okay, repeatedly, okay. Now, basically, sometimes you have something that you have inside, okay. Say why, basically, I tortured myself there, okay, to design all this stuff, okay, in details there. I'm supposed basically to get more simplified there, okay. But that's why in animations, normally, especially 2D animations, if you guys work alone, you try to simplify as much as you can that it works. So guys, chibi character is not basically a compulsory that works, but if you're really keen to develop your skills as a character designers in the futures there, all right, you must be able to design also your same characters, same design into chibi versions there, right? That's basically an optionals. Okay, optionals there for you guys to work. So right here, I'm going to try to complete my cleanup line using wet media. Okay, reduce a little bit. This is my rough sketches there. This is my sketch, and this is my inking there, right? There. This is my references based on the original kind of samples, the photos there, right? What we call that drawings there, right? All right, guys. Okay, look back again. What we have done there here. Okay, the size that I'm using basically, okay, normally I'm going to reduce a little bit, maybe around 10 first. Okay, make sure you draw your hairstyles, should be a little bit more soft than that, right? Yeah. If you working with Japanese, okay, you have the line has a bit more discipline there, right? But because I'm a Malaysian, so I break rules that I can, okay, normally. Okay, I made basically my rules, and I love basically to break down the rules there, okay, all the times. That's basically my mottos of working with my kind of creations. Yeah. Okay. We try to make it a little bit more simplified there, right? Okay. She works on that. If you want to design something detailed, normally it takes time there, guys. Okay. It really takes time there to works. But if you really love basically to works on it, go ahead. I try to maintain the same smile that he had, okay, with his characters. Then it came from your friend, okay. Actually, your friend name, okay. I always forget the name, okay. Bad at names there. Huh? Your friends, Chisheng, right? Chisheng. Darren say yes, Chisheng. Okay. Based on Chisheng there, okay. But I want to, if I want to draw Chisheng kind of what we call that versions with the very small eyes, I can, there, right? Okay. It all depends on your kind of what we call that, your kind of what we call that arrangements. Okay. If you look back again right here, when I actually design basically the eyes, I'm also leave some space. Okay. To work. Okay. With this kind of line works over here. But because I'm not actually put too much serious on these developments, so I can actually improvise a little bit there, okay, according to the time that we have. Okay, there. So you want to draw back again, okay, the versions that you create. So I not actually refer too much basically on the original version, okay, which is I take from those Googles there, right, as a Mecha kind of design there. So that's why we need basically to have that kind of skills there, okay, to improvise things from time to times, not time after time there. That's basically the song there, right? Yeah. See? So this part there, okay, when I actually change those styles, see, can we refer back? I always try to refer some of the things back again. There. Some of the elements over here. I think last week I show you guys, okay, using the 3D elements, okay, 3D kind of apps. Okay, when we design basically these characters in sketching kind of mode there, okay. Then when we transform back again into basically those, sorry the guys, using basically the 3D elements there, okay. If you refer back again to those particular kind of samples, normally You can get basically a different kind of way of approaching basically those designer, okay, from different kind of positions. What I did right now, very rough kind of sketch. Okay, remember what I said just now, okay? The characters need to be there, okay? So if you design something, okay, without any kind of logic, sometimes, okay, they will be basically going to have a non-practical way of working, okay? So when you design something, make sure you, especially on this particular kind of designer, okay, the characters need basically have the logic there, okay, to design them. Don't just design something conceptually but doesn't practical there, okay? For example, like Iron Man. If you watch Iron Man, okay, there's a movies, okay. There's one version, okay. There's one kind of scene. The Iron Man basically pee inside those armor suit, right? So that means, okay, the suit is not practically, but they actually make a joke out of it because that's basically some human errors when you develop your design there, right? Okay. So generally, basically, okay, that's basically the thing that we have to think of as a designers there, right? So we need to think all this stuff there, okay, before we're going to create them or redesign them back, okay, into those characters there. So I think I've complete basically those tasks first, okay. Oh, sorry, okay. Another kind of elements, okay, of those hands. If you look back again, how actually I designed them over here is all according to the gestures line that I mixed up around together. Okay, that I mix around that together there, right? So some of the elements I can actually use because if you want to become a bit more productive there, right? You cannot just spend a lot of times, okay, when you sketch. You have to a bit more faster there, okay, when you work on it. So right now I will draw basically the goggles. The goggle line has to be a bit more loose. Okay, why? Because it's a glasses, okay, that made from glasses there. So guys, okay, for G5, they actually experience, okay, from live visions, okay, how actually I develop these Chibi characters again. Okay, oh, I missed out basically this part there, right? Okay, the quality of line that we produce is really is really important there. Okay, when it comes to develop every single kind of element for your illustrations, especially when you're doing this cleanup line there, okay. I saw basically some of the student basically eager enough to work with painting style. Is good there, okay. It's good that okay to works on that, okay. But the point is right now when you paint, make sure you actually right really focus on your proportions. A lot of people that I saw there, okay, when they paint, it's look nice there, okay, but the proportion is out there, right? So make sure you actually do extra kind of what we call that efforts, okay, to works on it. So I do some etchings a little bit right here, okay. Normally in the manga character style, there's a comic kind of what we call that etching styles there. The very simple kind of etching style that I create right here. Okay, to works there, okay. So draw basically the hairline strokes has to be look according to the flows there. So that's it. Next thing that I always do normally, I will select that the first. Oh, I think some of the areas that I paint doesn't basically close those lines together. Okay, guys, any questions? Okay, I'm asking. I'm asking you on online. Okay, I'm asking basically G5 there. Huh? Any questions? Huh? Miao Ching? Huh? Understand, all right, how actually it works? Uh, and hopefully you guys really understand, okay, clear enough, okay, why basically we need to study exactly from the real photos, and then we break down back again all the structures, okay, into these characters there. because I want you guys to get a benefit based on your developments, not just simply become an average, just draw and trace only there, right? Right? Easy peasy there, right? Huh? It works. Okay, Edwin. Okay, yeah. Understand that, right? How it works. Make sure you use basically your characters that from assignment two first to turn into manga if you can. All right, okay. Don't try to find another problems there. Right, get to work first. All right. Practice and focus on your design skill, there, guys. Okay. Practice on the design skill. Okay, Darren. Okay. Sketch properly. Okay, we have 2 weeks time there. Okay, almost 2 week, 1 week and a half there. Okay, to complete the whole task there. Right. So make sure you actually benefit enough time, okay, for you to develop that first. Okay, I wanted basically to see the good result on your development on your own, not based on how best you can be there, okay, to develop your skill there, okay, and by tracing them. Because the point is right now, if you don't actually write, uh, you don't understand basically the process of working, you just tracing them, okay. There's no values, okay, on your presentations there, right, on your submissions. You just get some try to get validation from other people's, but it's not basically going to be benefit for you, especially when it comes to develop your design skills. So this is something that I understand it's not that quite easy, but in a few days, hopefully, okay, this particular kind of what we call that demonstration would help you to be more clear, okay, where the directions that you want to go later on there, right? Okay, so we have the versions of this guy, Chisheng, in the manga versions, okay, and also the chibi characters at the same times. I actually could draw something else, okay. For example, if I want to draw Chisheng, for example, I wanted to design him in a bit more like a Chinese boy version there, okay, rather than manga, like, rather than these chibi characters. How actually I'm going to work on that? Okay, the thing is right now is simple there, right? I try to make the eyes a bit more smaller there. Here, for examples over here, I want to draw them. Oh, I want to draw Qixing there, okay? Let's just say we have this kind of eyes there, see? There. I can design something like this, all right? Another versions there, okay? Of the characters, it can be, all right? So that's why basically, okay, you can play around with your design once you have the confirmed kind of what we call that templates that you can use, okay, because your job is right now there, okay, no one basically have taught me before. Now I will transfer basically my experience from here more there, right? Okay, if you really wanted to see the potential of your design, this is something that you should do. All right, you can change the eyes, duplicate them, try to see the difference there, because you will learn something not only today, not only the moments that you change. You will carry on basically your kind of understanding in the futures there, okay, when you want to develop other characters there. That's why all this kind of stuff is really important there, okay, to works. Because whatever that we try to manage, we try to bring over to the tables right now, it's not how good you basically you are to complete your assignments there, but how benefit you are, okay, that you develop your kind of developments, your skills according to your kind of experience, and you understand how to make up basically back again your kind of design process in the futures there, right? That's the thing. So the outcome itself, it all depends on how far basically you develop there, right? Okay, that's the thing there, right? Okay, so make sure you actually treat yourself not just by completing your assignments there, but you gain some benefit from your development from here. So what else that we can do? Okay, if I want to just to play around with this kind of shadows line, I would say I will start with this one back again there, okay? For examples right here. play around with this, some shadow, very simple kind of shadow, right? Okay, if you look back again like this one, okay, very rough kind of radical kind of shadows that I use. Okay, but basically right now, okay, what I'm trying to do is just to show the form of it. Okay, make sure that okay, you're playing around with the shadows, just like you create a photography is kind of what we call that elements, right? Okay, you're playing around with shadows and shapes and highlight and structures there, right? So what I can do next right here, copy and paste the layers. Oh, sorry though, I cannot do layers. Okay, these layers there, copy and paste. Okay, this is basically my shadows. Then I'm going to multiply them. All right. Some of the areas that I find quite not quite very interesting, I can delete that, right? See? Nothing serious there, guys, okay? Nothing precious at the same time. You can actually improvise and change all the time that you want. Okay? So, but the thing is, right now, the presentations that you keep on working with your kind of development from here. Okay, the way that you present it there, okay, your kind of ideas there, right? All this kind of stuff basically will give a lot of advantage for you guys later on. That when we play more, we actually can study a little bit more further from here. Okay, what else that we can actually change? Yeah, yeah, right. The highlight itself. Oops, supposed to have this one. Okay, highlight there. If you reduce a little bit, so you can control the highlights over here. This is a bit more sketchy kind of highlights there, right? Oops. Stay in call there, right? Huh? There. The whole presentation's going to be different there. Okay. So the process of coloring basically are going to be the same kind of process of coloring there, right? Okay. The difference is the design that you create from here. All right, guys. So that's basically the demonstration that I can make basically, okay, for this time. That based on developments from the same kind of characters, same kind of what we call that design, but